Alright everybody, welcome back, and as promised, I will be in this video building some Industrialcraft machinery. Now it may not be a whole lot just yet, and I'm going to go ahead and first thing I'm going to build probably is going to be the recycler, and of course a generator to power it. Now one of the things that helps with EU generation in Industrialcraft is you can build scaffolding out of wood, and it actually makes the wood way more efficient than just using it as like sticks or planks, or even turning it into charcoal. And you end up getting about 3 times as much EU, or 3 times as much energy out of burning the scaffolds in a generator as you do if you just burn charcoal. So turn it into scaffolds. I'm going to go ahead and plant these rubber trees, and I'm not going to harvest them just yet. I'm going to go ahead and actually see if any of them will grow up by themselves while we go in here and start smelting things. So, positive side, you know, these furnaces already spawn in the blacksmith shop, so we're going to go ahead and, well, if I had my crafting table, it would help us so much getting all this done. So let me grab that and run back in here. And as pretty as, you know, the buildings look when they spawn, these fences are really annoying and they're in my way. So I'm going to knock those down as well and clear that out. So we've got some places to put some stuff. And probably square that off here in a little while. But right now, here we go. That's good enough. Okay. First thing that I'm going to need, I said I was going to build a generator, and one of the things you can do involves building an iron furnace. So, crafting table, yeah. Alright, throw this over here. What you do is you take your furnace and you put 5 iron around it, makes an iron furnace for Industrialcraft. And the iron furnace is 25% more efficient. So if you put a piece of coal or charcoal in it and smelt things, instead of it just doing 8 at a time, it can do 10. Now, we said it is more efficient to go ahead and use scaffolding, so I'm going to go ahead and make some scaffolds real quick. I need 12 of those and probably 12 planks as well. Let's go ahead and make a whole stack of that. So that's how you build scaffolding, and they're really neat. They have a lot of other uses in the mod, but for right now I'm just using them to cook things, so just bear with me on that. We're going to go ahead and smelt that up, and while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and make I don't know if I'm going to make an iron chest just yet. I think I might hold off on that. And just not the chest plate, but I've got the iron chest mod installed so I can make iron and gold and things into chests. And they've got more storage space than just your standard chest here. The problem with that is I don't have a whole heck of a lot of iron just yet. But you see, as we smelt regular iron ingots, it turns into refined iron, which I'm going to need for a lot of the Industrialcraft stuff. I'm going to go ahead and make a tree tap to go get some rubber out of this rubber wood tree, and I'm going to have to actually bone meal a few of them, so I might as well grab a couple more of those and make some bone meal out here, because I forgot I wasn't going to make them grow, but for the circuits we do need rubber to put on the copper wire, and all of it will make sense very soon to anybody that doesn't already know what I'm talking about. You know, if you I've never used Industrialcraft before. I used to be, every time I played Minecraft I was straight vanilla, and I was trying to find ways to do some of the things like automating cobblestone generators and things like that, and it just wasn't really possible with vanilla. You know, yeah, like playing on Skyblock and stuff, you can stand there and build a cobble generator that you stand inside of or whatever, and you just basically stand in one spot and hold the mouse button down until you get all the cobblestone that's going to come out of it. Well, this is actually a fully automated cobblestone generator. The one I'm going to be using doesn't require a clock. I actually copied it off of video forever ago. I'm fairly certain it was Direwolf 20. May not have been his design originally. I can't remember if in the video he said if he got it from somebody else, but it actually still, even as of 1.4.6, still works. You don't have to have any fancy redstone circuitry with it. It does take a little bit of redstone to make the block breaker, and you've got to have a little bit of redstone wiring going around it. But you need 1 bucket of water, 1 bucket of lava, and a chest to catch all the cobblestone in. So, I know one of the first things I'm going to need that iron pickaxe. I need that iron pickaxe so that I can build the pistons and things that I'm going to need for the block breaker. So yeah, sorry if I'm derping out a little bit. I do need enough cobble to make a piston, as well as a few more to make the block breaker, and then I'll show you guys how this works. And like I said, it's really simple. It's completely clockless, so you don't have to worry about any redstone timing, and it actually has basically almost like a fail-safe built into it. If it gets stuck, because it'll have a redstone torch helping it to run, and if for any reason it gets stuck, when the redstone torch burns itself out, when it comes back on, it will cause it to break the block again. And since I don't have a extractor yet for my resin, you can put the sticky resin from the rubber trees in a furnace and turn it into rubber. You can also put it into an extractor and you get 3 rubber per resin, which I will be building shortly. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and just cook it up in the furnace there. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and see if I've got all the stuff I need to build my cobblestone generator. So first thing I need, I'm going to go ahead and build is just your standard piston. And for the block breaker from Redpower, you need an iron pickaxe and a piston. Put a piece of redstone under it, and then you need to surround it with 6 cobble, and it makes a block breaker. And the way it works is anytime you get, anytime you put a redstone signal to it, it'll break the block that's right next to it and send it out the back. And you can make tubes and things with the Redpower mod to send it through and direct where it goes, but you can also just set a chest right next to it, and that's what I'm going to be doing for right now anyway. That looks like a zombie for whatever reason, so let me go take care of that problem. Then I'll come back and show you guys that cobblestone generator. Wow, he had quite a bit of life left before he died. Okay. So yeah, back to what we were doing. And since, like I said, we've got 50 some odd blocks below us, we need to set this up just like this, I believe, and grab our bucket over here and grab this water. And if you didn't see, I dug down 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then back down to 1. You put that there and the water flows into that hole. And then what you're going to do is take your redstone torch and put it on the side right there, and that's the way the fail-safe on it that I was talking about for the cobblestone actually works. So essentially how it's going to work is we're going to put the block breaker over here, and it faces you whenever you place it. So we place it like that, and it'll send the items out the back when it's powered. And then we're going to string some redstone along the back here, and you put a piece in this hole. And when we put the lava in, it's going to generate cobble right there, which is powered by this torch, powers the redstone, makes the block breaker operate, and sends the cobblestone out the back. And if it goes too fast on generating the cobblestone, it'll burn this torch out, and then when the torch lights itself back, it'll send a pulse again through the block breaker, so it will fix the circuit and get it to start generating cobble again. So let's go ahead. We need enough wood to build a chest, and we'll go ahead and put that down behind the cobble generator. I'm actually going to go ahead and for right now, instead of making an iron chest, because like I said, I don't have a lot of iron to spare, I'm just going to go ahead and build a double chest right here behind this block breaker. because it will fill up an entire double chest. You know, it'll fill up the iron chest and gold or diamond or any of the other kind of chests that can be made with that mod. See, it's making the... Hey guys, I completely lost track of time in that last video, but it's cool. I'm going to try to upload both of them close to the same time, so anybody that was watching won't just go, what happened? So you can see the front of the block breaker there operating and pulling the cobblestone through it, and it's actually working so fast basically that you don't even see the redstone energized, but trust me, it is working, and it just periodically puts cobblestone into that chest. So that's working. And I'm going to go ahead now. The next thing we were going to do, we said, first off, I'm going to get all this stuff back out of the way and fill that hole in next to where I made the little temporary cobble generator, and fill that in with some sandstone. We're going to go ahead and try to get our recycler going, if I can remember how to build one. Let's see here. Got the rubber. Right, so we're going to need 3 copper, and I'll put that away for now. So to build the circuit, circuits from Industrialcraft, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can make uninsulated copper wire and then put all 6 rubber around it, or you can do it the way that I normally do, which is a little quicker as far as clicking things. So you make 6 uninsulated copper wire, and then you put them in the crafting grid with that, and just shift click and you get all 6 copper wire. So to make the circuit, you take the 6 copper cable like that, you put 1 refined iron in the middle and 2 redstone, and that gives you an electronic circuit. And let's see, the first thing that we're going to need to build the recycler that I want to build, I actually need a little bit more cobblestone than what I have, because you have to build a compressor first, and that actually involves, we need 6 smooth stone, and then the machine block and the circuit. And if I remember right, that's all you actually need to build that. And then to turn it into a recycler, you need a glowstone dust, some dirt, and I think 1 more refined iron maybe. I'll have to double check my craft guide if what I think works doesn't work. I'm going to wait for the stone to cook up. I'm going to try all that. And yeah, random side note for talking about stone cooking up, there's actually a crafting recipe that comes because of Redpower, where if you cook just a piece of stone by itself, it turns into 2 stone wafers, and you can use those to make a lot of the items like the single tile timer and the repeaters, and you know, the advanced repeaters from Redpower and all that stuff. If anybody's ever played with that mod, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if not, I may, you know, at some point I may build some of those in these videos, you know, provided I don't, of course, being that it's hardcore mode, don't just randomly get killed by something running around and attacking me. But the other cool thing about this is it will lock up once the chest gets full, because the block breaker won't operate if there's something behind it that's a solid block that it can't get rid of, if there's nowhere else for the item in front of it to go. But then as soon as you start pulling cobble out, the reset mechanism on that redstone torch will cause it to go ahead and start working again, so you don't have to do anything other than just pull stuff out of the chest and it starts working. So now we've got our 6 stone. Anyway, I know I'm rambling, sorry about that, guys. You put your 6 stone in like this, and the circuit on the bottom, machine block in the middle, that gives you a compressor. And I'm not even really interested in the compressor right now, we just want to build a recycler. But I know I'm going to need, I just remembered off looking at that I'm going to need 1 more refined iron, because it does take 2 of those to make the compressor. We put the compressor here, we put 3 dirt, 2 refined iron, and I know what the problem is. It's okay. I need glowstone dust, not a glowstone block. So there we go. And luckily I actually got 4 back from that, because there is a Industrialcraft item called the macerator that you can use, and you'll always get 4 of those back when you use it to break them down. But there we go. Now we have a recycler. And what we can do with this recycler, I won't be able to do much with it other than just manually putting the things in here right now, because since we don't have any glass out here and we don't have any sand, and I don't have clay to make the Redpower alloy furnace. I can't actually build the pipes that go along with this thing for right now. The transport pipes, I'll have to do that later on once we get a mass fabricator going and we can make some sand things. But as of right now, I can go ahead and set this up over here next to this chest. And what it does is you put stuff in here. When it's powered, it'll recycle it into scrap. You can turn that scrap into scrap boxes, and scrap boxes have a random chance of dropping out some items that are going to be useful to us. So what I'm going to do, I've already got an iron furnace. I'm going to go ahead and build another machine block, and I will need, let's see, I need 8 iron for that. I need a regular furnace, which I just happen to have right here because it's spawned in this village. And then I'm going to need a battery. And for the battery, I need 4 tin, 1 copper cable, and you can't build one at a time, so we'll have to build all 6. That's okay. And go ahead and build the cables. And I'm going to need 1 more rubber that I don't have yet. But I need 4 of those, 2 redstone, and 1 insulated cable. I'm going to go ahead, just for the sake of getting stuff out of the way right now, build 1 more chest as well, so I can get some of this stuff out of my inventory, because I'm holding entirely too many things, and they're taking up all my space. And why did I build an iron pickaxe if I obviously already had one for this block breaker right here? This guy right here. I have no idea. Sorry, guys. Kind of just thinking out loud at the moment, but alright. What we need... Now, there's actually a couple different recipes for this, but they use the same amount of iron either way. One of them you can make the iron furnace that takes 5 and then put 3 refined iron here and put a battery above it. But right now, what we're doing, I'm going to go ahead and throw 1 sticky resin rather in there and turn it into rubber. Get some of these other things out of my way for now that I'm not going to need just yet, and make myself a little bit more room to operate here. I'm going to go ahead and just keep 1 of those wires out, and yeah, I think that's good, and we should have the rubber here. Now what you do, insulate your copper wire, put your 4 tin and 2 redstone. You get an RE battery, which is a rechargeable battery. For Industrialcraft, you can actually put it inside the generators and charge it up, and it holds, I think, 10,000 EU, and you can wander it between machines and use it to power them. Then the generator works by basically, we can plug it next to a machine, and you actually have to have, if I remember right, I think you can just break the generators, but you actually have to have a special tool made out of bronze called the wrench to be able to move any of the machines. And then if you don't make an electric wrench, there is a chance that they will break and just drop a machine block when you try to pick them up. But right now I'm not planning on moving my recycler anytime soon. You can actually build a few upgrades to it to make it operate faster, but that involves more copper, more circuits, and some coolant cells, which you make out of tin and tin and water to make a coolant cell. And I'm not going to worry with that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and get all this taken care of, just to get the basics down. We've got our recycler, we've got our generator next to it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some of this scaffolding out of here. I'm going to leave some of it for now, and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with the recycler. Basically what you do, when you put stuff in here, it'll burn it off and it'll start charging up the generator and powering anything next to it. But since this machine doesn't have anything to do right now, it's just going to store the energy and not do anything. And then when you put items in there, it will break them down, and it has a random chance of dropping scrap. And this is scrap. Scrap's used for a couple things. You can make fertilizer for the Industrialcraft crops, which I probably need to go ahead and start planting some of as well. But for right now, I'm trying to get scrap boxes so I can get some of the random items they drop, like coal dust, which is, you need some of those coal dusts to make solar panels, and it's essentially free energy anytime the sun's out, versus actually having to have fuel to constantly burn and put in there. And we can build upgrades that go in these slots here to make it the recycler be able to hold more energy and to operate faster. But again, you need 9 scrap to build 1 scrap box, and since it's a random percentage, sometimes it takes a long time, sometimes it just takes a couple minutes. and you put the 9 in the crafting grid, it makes one scrap box, and if you right click it, it does just shoot out a random item off a list. But we're just about out of time, so I will pick this back up in the next video. Thanks, guys.